Hello everybody and welcome once again to Danny & Son's Realtech mod pack. In this episode we're going to go and do the big machines from Immersive Engineering, or at least most of them. I haven't done the farm stuff yet, but I'm going to have to be doing that probably between episodes because we've already done one farm at least once or twice. And you can also see on my left hand side I did move the chimney from the advanced blast furnace. So I put a pump and then some vents, and the vents came to a chimney, and the chimney comes to these over here, as you can see, two filters. So now we should get fortunately they don't smoke, which makes it difficult to know whether you're actually connected up right, but they are, because the carbon deposits carbon emissions come out of there. Right, so let's get started. Well, the first thing I want to do is actually put this down. This is the lubricator that we talked about last week, the automatic lubricator from Immersive Petroleum, and it shows you where you're going to put it. So you're going to put it at the back here like this. And then in here I've got a capsule of lubricant. Now these capsules are actually surprisingly useful, especially in this mod pack. So we can right click that. Now it's got 1,000 bucket of lubricant in it, so that will automatically lubricate the crusher, so the crusher should go a little bit faster. Not that I'm going to be using it at the moment, and it's probably difficult to know whether it's actually going faster or not. But these capsules will stack up to 64. So you can have a 64 of these, which is basically probably about 4 times bigger than any of the other barrels and tanks that we've got. We can transport fluids around. And this is a byproduct from bees, of course. The recipe for that is basically these refractory waxes, which I'm getting from leather. Which reminds me, we've got to go there next in order to get to the jungle base. So I'll see you when I'm there. Right, here we are, and this is the bit I've been building. So as you can see, I've prepared everything, got it all laid out, and the lighting in here is actually from Ferdinand's Flowers. So I've got these Ferdinand's Flowers stone lights here, which provide enough light to illuminate this whole room. And above it, of course, is the floor from above. So you've got the kitchen area over here, and in fact those are the two lights in the back piece there, and the rest of this is, well, I had a border of this as well. So let's get on with this stuff. It's fairly straightforward, but I'm going to do I'm going to use the projector. I think in here basically I'll just shove everything in there because I don't really want everything I've got, I don't think, with me. So let's just that's the empty one, and this one here I've got all the bits that we need, including the book. So let's get that out of here. So this projector thing what you have to do. At the moment it's set up for the arc furnace, so let's right click this one. So the one I want to do first of all is probably the industrial squeezer. So that's I think it's a heavy machine as it happens, a squeezer. So we have to produce this one. So all I have to do is to put it in here, and I've got all the bits, as you can see, already prepared. So we've got steel scaffolding, fluid pipes, redstone engineering blocks, and so on and so forth. So all we now have to do is to take this and then craft this with this projector here, and that will then give me a squeezer projector. And what we have to do then is come along here and then put it to where we want it to be. Now unfortunately it's not quite so straightforward. What I want to do is get the output coming in this end. So you press the middle button of the mouse, which is the pick button, and then I've got this output here, which is in fact how I want it. So this is a pipe where the fluids are going to come out. So now I've right clicked it and it's pointing to this direction. So let's just put the bits and pieces in here. There's no quick way of doing this. I'm debating whether I'm going to do this on camera or not, as it happens, but there's only a few, there's not that much to do on this particular one. So what do we want? Light engineering block. Let me just move this stuff out of here, and then I probably don't need this. Hopefully I don't need it anyway. So we need the light engineering block, redstone blocks, sheet metal scaffolding, blocks of steel, not yet. I think that's probably about most of it for the time being. So let's just get that's a lot heavy ones. I should have some light engineering blocks in here too. Let's put that one down there. So the cheaper machines basically use light blocks, and then we've got some pipes in the middle here. So let's get the pipes ready. I'll need those for a few of those, so let's put those down here. And then of course when you put the last one in, it does the next level up. So we need, in this case, barrels. We've got 4 barrels, wooden barrels. Haven't used these before, but they're fairly straightforward. Just put them down like that. and then we need another light engineering block, and the redstone block. And then it comes back and does the next level. So what do we need here? That's a piston that's facing down. Now, putting a piston down is normally, you have to put a block above it, but we don't need to because we've got the hammer, so we can put it anywhere that we like. And this one here is two fences, 3 fences, so steel fences, these, like that. So we just have to put this down. You see it's highlighted in red, which means it's wrong. So let's put this down with the hammer and then simply right click it. I think I have to right click it on this face here, and then that's now green, and that's actually completed. So what we have to do then is find the bit where we have to click it. It's not always that easy, so let's just have a look in the book, because it always tells you in the book. This is the Magnetic Craft book, which I don't want with me. I want the Immersive Engineering one. So it says the squeezer is a multi-block structure that presses juice out of any organic materials by using a big piston. Okay. So then we have to hit, it's formed by using the engineer's hammer on the central wooden barrel from the side of the engineering that has the engineering blocks. So that's not that one, I think that's this one here, like that. So we just right click it, and sure enough it's formed. And everything's red because we've got a different plan. So now the next machine we're going to do is the fermenter. So let's do that. Well, it's the same thing in this. Basically, let's go back over here. So we want the fermenter. So the fermenter is a multi-block structure that extracts ethanol from certain fruits, grains and vegetables through the fermenting process. This structure is shown above and is formed by using the engineer's hammer on the central cauldron. Cauldron from the side of the engineering blocks, so obviously this side. We've got all the materials, and the next page actually does. So what does it tell me? So the items can be input into the fence via 2 hatches at the back, which are marked with blue dots. The hatches then have the orange dots serve as the output, and we can output fluid. So it needs a redstone signal to turn it on, and it will halt the machine. It's the inverse one. And here's actually a list which is a bit too big for the actual materials that you can actually use. So best ones are things like sugar cane, wild berries, apples are a good one, melons, grapes, blackberries. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a multi-film. So now we have to craft this with this book again, with the projector with the book. What I'm going to do with this is I'm going to put this one down here like this, and I'm going to rotate that again by pressing the middle button until we get this pipe coming out of here like that. And then I can right click that, because that's the side I want the output to come from. See, these are the 2 outputs in here. So let's do this one again. Oops, and you see the white blocks are the ones which are highlighted. So I got that in my hand, it's telling me the white one's the one I want, and then we need some pipes. Let's put the pipes down here. And oops, missed again. So what I did, I messed this up. I put these 2 blocks here. Let's just break those away. That's why I took the pickaxe with me. What have we got to put now? So these are, they look a bit strange actually, but I think those are just fences. No, they're not. They're cauldrons, aren't they? It's the 4 cauldrons. As I said, you just look a bit strange when you're putting these. Don't look like cauldrons at all, do they? Anyway, let's put the 4 cauldrons down there. Put the light engineering block here, and the redstone there, and then we come up to here. And what do we need? Then we need 4 sheet metal. So the other cauldron is a 5th cauldron, and that has also got a use. So let's put those there, and that's then ready. But it's complaining about this one because that's a heavy engineer. Oh, it's a light engineering block. So what's wrong with this one? Oh, of course it wants a redstone block in there. That's fine. So now it's all green. So we simply right click the cauldron with the hammer on this side, and then it forms, as you can see. So the next thing that goes in this process is the refinery. So let's get the refinery out. So I'm going to need the book, and I need to find the recipe again. So let's go back to refinery, because basically you're mixing these 2 things together into the refinery like that. So it's a complex multi-block that can refine 1 or 2 fluids from another The most common application for this is produce refining plant oil and ethanol into biodiesel. So that's basically what we're actually doing. To form the structure, you right click the heavy engineering block in the middle layer. Okay, then it tells us about the fluids being input. Well, that should be obvious. So we need the output of that to come out this side. So let's go and get this thing set up. Again, it's the same thing. And as you can see, it's coming out. That's not how I want it. Let's turn it around, I think. I want it this way, but I've got, yeah, that's the way I want it, because I think I want the pipes coming out of this end here. Let's go back over here. Yeah, that's right. So that's the it looks strange. Oops, missed. Let's try that again. I have to right click it somewhere else, shift right click it somewhere else, and then we can put it in the right place here. These blocks are just concrete blocks from Immersive Engineering, and these are just kitchen floors. I had a few extra kitchen floors. So let's get this stuff built here. That's a light engineering block by the looks of it. If I get it wrong, of course, it tells you, which is nice of it as it happens. As you can see, all the white ones that I've got in my hand are highlighted. So that'll be a heavy engineering block, I guess. Yeah, indeed. So then we need the pipes. And then it comes to the next layer. So redstone engineering block. This is probably a heavy engineering block because it, yep, that is because it highlighted it. See, this gets slightly more expensive. This will be a light engineering block, and then we've got the sheet metal ones over here, which I haven't got space for in my hotbar. So let's just put those down there like that. Let's go on top. It's probably easier to finish this off from up here. Oops, missed. Try that again in a second. I'll have to come back and get that piece, and then we've got some more. Just too close, that's the trouble. So I'm missing that one, which I put down here, which break that off. I can put that in. Now it's green, so it's complete. So we hit the engineering block here with a hammer, and then it's formed. And you can see from this. Yeah, let's get this off here now. Let's just pick another recipe. The next machine is going to be the diesel engine, isn't it? So I need to get the diesel engine because that's what we need. Some big power. So now next one is going to be the. It's not under this lot. So we want. Let's just look for diesel engine. That generator will do fine. Diesel generator. So right, this is the one we want. So we just go to the picture. It's a lot of stuff in here, as you can see, but I prepared it all in advance, so we don't have to get through the crafting of all of that. So let's just put this into here, and then we can have a look at the refinery a bit better. So I'll move that out of my hand, then it doesn't highlight the stuff. So you see, this is the output here. And this is an output, and there's the input. You see how I set it up so that I could simply pump the output of these two into here. Then the output of that is going to come into the generator. So let's put the generator down now. It's another big block structure, as you can see. Now, I think let's just come over here. As you can see, that's probably the wrong direction. You know, I think it's like this. The radiator's at that side. Nope, it's the other way around. So I want to get it the other way around, like that. So the radiators is the black box you can see on the left hand side, and the pipe which is going to connect to the refinery is on the right hand side here. So there we go. So now this is where we need the copper coils, copper generator blocks, which is this one here, as you can see, the correct block. So now we've got more steel scaffolding, more pipe. So I'll get the, oh, I do need the projector in hand, don't I? I need the steel scaffolding. What don't I need in here? It's probably need everything as it happens. So let's do the pipes next. Get those down. So there's 5 pieces of pipe left. So I reckon those will be all these. like that. And then of course we've got the steel scaffolding in here. And then these three will be the radiator blocks. The radiator blocks are actually in 3x3. Well, 3 by 1 by 3. I know that they're going to go up there, so let's just put them out there, get them out of the way. And then you can see that the radiators, the generator blocks are here. Telling me where I got that, it just came into my hand, that's fine. And what have I got in now? I want some heavy engineering blocks, which are these ones. So we have to go and get on top here, probably the easiest way to do this. So a lot of heavy engineering blocks in this particular build as well. Come on, are you not? Why can't I put you down? Yeah. And some more, as you can see. Let's get up again. So now we need, is it formed already? It can't be formed. Oh, it's green, it must be formed. So now let's go and read where we have to hit this thing, because I didn't read that out. So, right, the structure is built from the engineering generator, radiator blocks and scaffolding, okay. Arrangement shape, right, okay. Then right click the center generator with the engineer's hammer. So that's basically, this must be this one here. Like that. And sure enough it's formed. And we've got a goal reached, bad for the environment. So I think that's probably going to be entertaining. Let's just move this out of the way. It doesn't get highlighted. And as you can see, it's a big machine, this one. It's a big, noisy and smoky machine. And here comes the fuel. So we're going to take the fuel out of that and go straight into the generator. The next thing we need to do, if we have a look on top of this, I think we can get on top. Here's the outputs, and these are high voltage outputs, is to build the arc furnace. So this is what it's all about. Actually, I cheated these in. I was actually going to use the advanced blast furnace ones I've built before, but sorry, didn't mean to do that, as it happens. I meant to knock down the advanced blast furnace and bring it over here. So next one, arc furnace. Let's come back up here and go to arc furnace, this one. And as you can see, this is a very big machine. So, and it needs a lot of materials. 1 cauldron, 14 steel sheet metal slabs, 8 engineering sheet metals, block of steel, and so on and so forth. So there's a massive structure used to quickly smelt metals. It consists of steel vat topped by electrodes which heat up the metal. Okay. The furnace excels at smelting ores and creating steel due to its high speed and ability. So it's going to be a real fast way of doing this. That's what the whole purpose of doing the advanced blast furnace was in the first place. So it requires high maintenance in order to keep it functioning. Slag must be removed from the machine, otherwise it will stop working. And degrading electrodes need to be replaced over time. So the electrodes are basically hot granite electrodes, which are also quite a faff to make. So we form the structure assembly by showing the first page and then ticking the cauldron with the engineer's hammer, okay? Energy is input through the 3 connectors at the back. So we need to know the back needs to be our side here. And at the front, the redstone signal can be turned off. And supplying the redstone at the front of the redstone signal. Good. So if we get the redstone block at the front, we know where to put it. So let's get that now into this projector. And have a look at it. So the front has got to be the redstone block. I think actually this is the back. Let's go and check it. Easy enough to check. Let's just come over here and press the middle button again until we've actually changed it around. So that's the front. So we want that one to be over here. So let's just go around here and make sure that you just right click this one until you actually get the front. And I think that's what we want. Let's right click that now. So that should now fit into this this space I've created, which is also quite a large space. I think it does tell you the size of this thing. What does it tell me on here? 5 by 5 by 5. Okay, so hopefully I've got this right. If not, I have to break it down and do it again, but I'll do that in my own time. So I think these are steel slabs. So we've got 14 of these. Right, that's all of those ones. We've got some steel sheet metal in here, and you can see, I put that in my hand, and we know where that has to go. It's fairly straightforward. It's much easier doing this, and that's probably an engineering block of some description. I can't get it because I'm probably standing on the wrong place. There we go. Like that. And then what do we need now? So let's take some solid blocks of steel. Yep, we've got some solid steel blocks here. Solid steel blocks. There's also steel in this thing. So I guess that these ones here are heavy engineering blocks, indeed it is. And these two here look like, well, that looks like scaffolding. And that one will probably be the cauldron, yes. And looking at it again, it looks a bit strange for a cauldron as it was last time, so I think that's it. You see it goes up. We didn't actually show you this. So redstone block here, still at the front. I hope this has got the right way around, because the front of course could be this side, since it's 5 by 5, or it could be the other side. I'm not sure which it is, to be honest with you, at the moment. So more steel blocks. Oops. Heavy engine. Is there any more on here? Yes, there's one on this side. Put that one down there. And then we've got some heavy engineering blocks here. Let's go and put those in. Light engineering blocks, which is nice because that showed up straight away. And then it's the reinforced blast brakes. Next level, so we need some more reinforced blast bricks, and I think that they're going on top of this lot. Harder to see when you get sometimes, but that doesn't look right. They went too low, didn't they? So I have to knock these off. You won't have enough otherwise. So we can actually do that from here, of course. Now this is where it gets a little bit difficult to get up, but I think I can still get up here. So what have we got now? It looks like these are more light engineering blocks, indeed. Put those up. And these probably are steel blocks. Let's just have a look. Well, that one is anyway. This is probably a steel. Yeah, this is steel sheet metal. And what have we got here? Another steel sheet metal and another steel block in here like this. And then we've got some more of these. You know, it's my first time building one of these machines. I know I've not got enough space to go all the way up. This ceiling is actually 6 high, and this machine's 5 high. That's going to be a bit of entertaining, isn't it? Let's get those two into place, and this one here. Okay, it's a light engineering block. I've got some more light engineering blocks in my hand here. And then some steel scaffolding. That's where you can't get past, of course. And it's completed, thankfully. And all my materials have gone, so I got exactly the right amount of materials for this. So we just form this by right-clicking this. Let's put the hammer back again. Challenge complete. The hottest topic. So I hope I've got this the right way around. If I haven't, I'm just going to have to move it my own time. I've got it the wrong way around. I think these are the 3 connectors for power here. And the redstone connector therefore needs to be over this side. It needs to be here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a block down there, and I'm going to come back in a second when I've knocked all of this down and put it in the right place. Bit of a nuisance. So no, it takes a few seconds to do this, but as you saw, it's not too painful. So I'm going to just put down one of these here, and I'll come back in a second or two with it in the right place. Now it's built. So to operate this thing, we need some graphite bars. So we have to right click the interface of this. Now, I don't think you can simply right click. Oh, you can almost right click it anyway. In fact, it actually says yes, you can. So let's get the book out and have a look at this, because it's going to be complicated. It looks like it's complicated. Now these 3 slots up here are for the graphite bars. Let's have a look at this one. So I quickly read that while I was waiting between bits. So we've done this bit about connecting it. So okay, we talked about that. Energy is connected through the input, 3 connectors at the back and supplying the control panel at the front with the redstone signal would turn it off, machine off. Right clicking the panel bucket or vat will open the interface. It seems to open everywhere. The interface may look confusing at first, seeing it, but it's quite straightforward. The 3 slots at the top are for the graphite electrodes, so we have to make those. 12 slots on the left hand side are for the input slots for metals and ores. Each slot has a temperature bar next to it. So let's look at that one. So these are these slots here, and these are the temperature bars on the side of it, as you can see. So we should have some way of being able to put materials into here. I'm not sure where we put it in yet. Let's carry on reading and see what it tells us about this. Okay, the 4 slots on the right are for the additives, different materials being added to molten metals during the crafting process. For example, these would be adding coke dust to smelting iron ore to create steel. The inputs and additives are inserted through the 2 hatches at the top of the structure. The inputs to the left and the additives to the right of the electrodes. Okay, so that must be to the top of the structure. Can we get up there? Yes, we can. Oh, I see. Look, here we've got some inputs on this side and some inputs on that side. And these looks like these are going to be for the graphite bars, which probably sit in these 3 slots in here like this. And I guess we can see it when it's broken. Okay, the 7 slots at the bottom are 6 output slots and a slot for slag. The outputs are retrieved from the front and the slag is retrieved from the back of the machine. So it will automatically push the stuff out onto conveyor belts. So that'll be the output for the metals, and this will be the output for the slag here. It's a monster. I've never played with this before, so that's going to be fun to finish off. But today is just the build of this. Now, just before I go, there's one thing I haven't shown you that I've been doing recently, and it's well worth doing. So let's have a look at those. It's in my both in my ball slots. So I've got this portable temperature regulator and this thirst quencher, both from Tough Expansion, and they make a great deal of difference. As you can see, it's gone down quite a bit and it's using a little bit of power at the moment. Whenever it makes that coloured sort of sign, then it's doing that. Well, that's it for this episode. There was some excitement building this room because underneath this room is a big set of caves, which you might have noticed on the minimap when I was doing things. And as you can see, just pictures so we can see everything that we've been doing. Anyway, next time I'm going to be connecting everything up, making sure I've built the farms, and I'm going to be using seeds. I think the seeds I'm going to be using for immersive engineering, the hemp seeds, and apples from rustic. So I'm going to plant some apple trees from rustic, and we should get quite lots of apples from those. I'm not sure exactly how much. And any pollution that comes out of it is going to go into the trees. And I suspect, since the diesel generator, it's at least biodiesel, so it might not be too bad. So until next time, I wish you all the best. Bye for now.